Great news from Buy Stuff Arcades with the PC build. If you're interested, just to throw that out there, you would need the gaming box installed. If you're going for Fast and Furious, Ridge Racer, Outrun, the gaming box helps. You need the setup. You will get a credit if you set in your gaming box. I believe it's a $50 credit. Also, when it comes to games, are you an 80s fan? A 90s? Or current? Are you more of a gamer of the present, the 2000s? Gotta get the backside too. Also, after further review, yeah, we have Loki making an appearance. Definitely not a good spot. I'll get to that. Maybe for the regular Switch, but the Switch 2, definitely bad idea. Ooh, tempting. Gatorade on a hot day. But for the first time, gonna go to this coffee stand. Yes, this is a coffee stand, a very small coffee stand. Octane Coffee. Ordered on my app for the very first time. Selected between two window lengths. Now I guess I could just walk up there, but I'll just stay in the car. We'll go around here, order from anywhere. Got a QR code on my phone. This should be interesting. I'll flash this code. Up there. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Hope it doesn't, I'm not far enough up. I got alligator hands. Alligator hands. At least it stays open. That was quick. That's crazy. Maybe they made it the second, it just closed. The second that I ordered it. But yeah, it was two different window lengths, so I picked the lower one, and there's an upper. We're all set. Welcome to today's video. As of recording of this Wednesday, July, it feels weird saying July 2nd. 2 days from the 4th, 2025. Got a coffee, trying this for the very first time. You know what the thing is with this? So it's 2 days in a row. Not only have we not went to Starbucks or Dunkin', but we've gone to new coffee places. I'm gonna try to keep this trend going a little bit. Actually, a little bit of a little map here, road map maybe, or maybe just kind of like maybe symbolizing like a parking lot. It's hot. There's no question about it. So I think the best thing is, funny story really quick while we're here. I want to come here for a reason. Got an email this morning from Octane Coffee. I created a profile, an app, probably close to a year ago. Maybe less, but let's just say a year. Never put a payment, a method of payment on there. Got an email saying, just following up on your, signing up here. Was there something you didn't understand? Was there a little bit of confusion on this? So I thought, you know what? Let's stop here. And you know what? It's pretty darn good. Nintendo is on fire. Gonna get into that. Also, big news from Buy Stuff Arcades on the Fast and Furious PC build, and whether you're an 80s, a 90s, early 2000s gamer, which ones are your favorite? I'm gonna focus on what I think is my favorite when it comes to games. Another nice thing about Octane Coffee, not that it's gonna be an everyday thing, but just trying to keep it a little different, is it's close to the midway in between work and between where I live. Big B Coffee over here. We went there during the winter. I decided that I really don't care too much for that establishment. Nothing with them, but it's just the taste of their coffee. So that went out the door, went out the window. Kind of focused on Starbucks and Dunkin'. But now, 7 Brew, we went there yesterday, and then Octane today. So those are in the rotation. Just wanted to kind of state that. Really quick, I just want to run in here. You might know why. Just want to check something out. Okay, I went here to look for the Power Glove, but it has been sold already. It must have sold yesterday. We were here about 2 nights ago, and they had it on the shelf, and they were deciding on a price. And I didn't make it here yesterday. I was curious. I still have Spider-Man though, but no Power Glove. That went quick. I haven't seen a Power Glove since at conventions, like gaming shows. So, you know, out in the wild, I would have been tempted. I might have. I don't know what they were asking for, but I might have been persuaded. I beat this game. I think there was a second one, but yeah, Ultimate Alliance. Finished it. Might have had this one too. No, it's a fighting game. I'm thinking of the Xbox. There was another X-Men. This is X-Men Next Dimension for GameCube. I don't know if I've ever actually seen this. Oh, the Incredible Hulk. Kind of getting a little... I forgot I had a GameCube. Kind of getting the GameCube itch. It's cool to see some newer stuff here. Or different than the last time. Oh, I love the PlayStation 3 advertising like instant streaming ready Netflix. Like, what's Netflix? It's on the PlayStation 3. And still in stock. We were here yesterday about 7:18, 7:30. They had 18 of them. And I saw somebody, there was another return actually, not a Switch return, but a couple just walked in with the return, looked like a monitor. Yesterday, someone was returning their Switch 2 already, so returns back to back at Best Buy. Just getting a little bit of an update here. I asked, you know, so it was 18 yesterday, it was none of the bundle. There are 9 left at this location. I'm not gonna go out to every Best Buy, but just kind of keeping everybody, you know, a head count. 18 yesterday, 9 now. They actually thought I was gonna buy one, so I kind of felt bad about it. I was just curious how many Switch 2 were here. 9. I think this is new. This was a different image. I swear, 2 nights ago. Didn't notice this yesterday. We had just came in really quick, just kind of a spoof, just to see, because the Best Buy was supposed to have the Switches in, but the Switch is back with another big story. People are not happy with the Switches overheating. Now, I have not had this, you know, I've not encountered this. I've had some issues online. I think it was actually my connection. I'm not going to blame Nintendo, but apparently there are some games. I'll get into what some of those titles are that are running so hot that the Switch is actually overheating, and there's 2 things you can do about it. But yeah, literally, Nintendo's on fire. Also, they have set a record for the first, I want to say 27 days, maybe 26, on being available. They have set a record worldwide. Overheating in sales. Now, Cyberpunk, which is not, it's not at Best Buy. Just the digital. So there are some issues going on with Cyberpunk overheating. It's like it's running, it's too much for the Switch. And you know, I'm glad this is coming out now, because not that I have interest playing Cyberpunk, but other games that are going to come out, because it's not online. Online games that run maybe a little bit more complex, that's where the PlayStation 5 or dare I say Xbox come in. So just throwing that out there, and until things are fixed, maybe it's just a couple of units that are just kind of, okay, they somehow made it past the assembly line, and they're a little faulty, or that's why you need 2 systems. So that's to be determined, but just kind of throwing that out there, that not only is Switch on fire with the overheating, but the sales, Mario. A lot of people that bought the Switch too. Nintendo Switch 2 units allegedly overheating. Users report freezing and crashes while playing Cyberpunk 2077. Only the digital copy, only the strong survive. Only the digital copy is here, and less power hungry games. Okay, so it wasn't just like less power hungry. So that's not good. I mean, that looks like a hot Switch 2, doesn't it? It looks like kit. So Switch 2 owners, notably in Japan, are reporting this. So with Cyberpunk 2077 and Pokemon and Splatoon. Beyond Japan, users on Facebook have reported Switch 2 getting warm or even hot to the touch while gaming. Now, I have not, honestly, I've not experienced this. The last 2 times I've played this, I left it in that cubby hole just to kind of test it out. Now I did have a fan on there, but I didn't feel any heat coming out like a PlayStation 5. But the PlayStation 5 that I felt might have been on for hours upon hours. Also stating, while other users over on Reddit are reporting similar issues. So it's not just, I guess it's not just Japan. I've had my Switch 2 display a message saying that the system was overheating and entering sleep mode twice now. Now, for anyone that doesn't have a Switch, the sleep mode is how I power mine off. Plus, if your Switch is just kind of idling, if you're in the main menu and you're not really doing anything, it will just kind of go into hibernation mode and basically just shut down with just touching the screen like your phone. Everything's back and running. But that's what the sleep mode, what they're referring to. Both times while playing Tears of the Kingdom, Switch 2 Edition docked. And this is happening when it's docked. I was also running a 2K resolution, which probably wasn't helping, but still worrying. Anybody else experiencing this? Wonder if I could have had a faulty system. Now, running a 2K resolution sounds pretty intense. Nintendo's just saying, simply unplug your dock and let it cool down. Moving your dock to a ventilated area, so yeah, mine is not. Ensuring your air vents are clear, and finally, monitoring the situation. So I am going to completely move my Switch 2 from that spot. I had a fan on there, and then I was just kind of testing it the other night. This scares me enough. I'm not running on a 2K resolution, but I don't want it overheating. Nintendo will also fix the Switch, so you could actually send it in. Now, I did buy a warranty with mine, and I never buy warranties, but I bought a warranty from GameStop. I think it's for 1 year. If anything, should happen with that, hopefully it doesn't. I could always send it in, but that's what that's what they're suggesting, that you can always send it in if it's having issues, because maybe it's just a faulty system. The fact that there were Japan units, those were the first made, so maybe they kind of rushed some of those. So hopefully, if you come to Best Buy with the 9 that they have left, it should be good. So just kind of throwing that out there, just stating the obvious of these things are going to get hot. They're Sega, and have a ventilated area, I guess. I remember when PlayStation 5 came out, I remember how the hype was real. And then of course the 30th anniversary, having that, the colors, the look of the very first PlayStation, which I believe that was a digital version. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like to this day you could still get one. I remember how hard those were to find one. Nintendo has set a record in basically under a month, and it seems like it's been out longer. 26 days since launch. They have sold 5 million units in the first month, becoming the fastest selling console of all time. Isn't that crazy? And that's a lot to do with FOMO. There's not a lot of I don't remember there being a lot of new games for PlayStation 5. Heck, there's still some here, that recently that are PlayStation 4. But when new systems come out, I remember when the Xbox came out, there wasn't a lot of games, but eventually there was, and eventually there will be for Switch 2. 5 million though. 5 million. And I think they earlier said that their goal was to produce 15 million between now and in March. So today Nintendo accidentally revealed a major sales milestone. I don't know if they accidentally did it, but they're just, again, building the FOMO. In a post spotted Nintendo Soup on Nintendo's investor relations website, which has since been removed, the company claimed the new console has sold 5 million units in the first 26 days on the market. Considering that Nintendo Switch 2 reportedly sold 3.5 million units globally in the first week. Maybe that was pre-orders. And going back to PlayStation 5, they sold 3.4 million units in its first month, only reaching 5 million in 2.5 months. And that could have been because I remember that there weren't any available. There's a lot. Nintendo is making a lot. So in PlayStation's defense, I know this is kind of a one-sided article. There wasn't any to choose from. They didn't anticipate like Nintendo did. Like Nintendo saying, well, we didn't really realize it. They knew that if they built the hype, that they would sell that many. So that I think PlayStation 5 would have been equal they sold 5 million in 4 months. A little bit of a breakdown here. 1.8 million in the States, Japan 1.47, and Europe at 1.18. So that all that makes up that at 5 million. Doesn't it sound just crazy? Like, imagine, that's a lot of Switch boxes. Sales will slow down over the summer. Eventually, everyone who wants a Switch will get one, and then the holiday season, everyone expecting the deals, and probably, possibly, you know, huge deals on some of the, you know, the light, the OLED, some of those bundles, the older Switch. But Nintendo's banking on some of these newer games. You have Pokemon Legends C through A, and they're kind of stating it'll be likely one of the best-selling games of the year. Throw in Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Kirby Air Riders. So, you know, these are the games, along with Mario Kart World, that they're really banking on. And then hopefully there'll be a lot more games coming, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. Jack, there are still Switch units here, not the bundle. They sold the bundles immediately yesterday. When we came yesterday evening, there was 18 of the standard Switch. Now there are 9 left. Did see a return. Wonder if that return goes into the, you know, when I said 18, it might have been 19, but 9 remaining. Did you get the bundle, or you got the bundle? Of course you did, because you got a Mario Kart World. You got to play with us sometime on a Saturday night. We're gonna do a lot of Switch streaming. Today I received an email from Buy Stuff Arcades that my PC build for Fast and Furious has been shipped. I have a tracking number, just a matter of days, and I will finally be able to play Fast and Furious, Road Blasters, Batman, and I don't know how some of those controls are gonna go without like having you know, like a flight yoke, just a basic steering wheel, but you know, having all these other buttons, maybe something on the side where you would change the music on the actual Fast and Furious cab. Maybe it works that way, but I can't wait to check this out. This is gonna be a game changer and probably get me to play a lot more on an idled Fast and Furious. I do want to mention something, that if you go to Buy Stuff Arcades, and I'll have a link in the description, that the PC upgrade, now this isn't the one I was looking for, Fast and Furious, which you can see right here, is shipping now. And when you click on that, you're gonna see a message come up where pre-orders are currently shipping out, and it's a process. Here we go. PC kit now shipping. Now pre-orders now shipping. It will take some time to get all of the pre-orders delivered. So I was gonna, you know, I just felt like what's happening. I put this in April. I'm sure a lot of people have put in the pre-order for this. I mean, you know, a lot of Fast and Furious cabs are out there. This is a perfect plug and play for a guy like me. And I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. I found out from a few people that I have a tracking number, so I thought, okay, I'll give it through the weekend. And then I went on here and I saw this. Like, okay, I'll just chill for a little bit while I have a tracking number. So if you've ordered this and you haven't received anything, just give them another week or two, and you'll probably get you'll get a notification. There are a ton of these PC upgrades that are being shipped out. So definitely worth checking out. Now, if you want to wait for some of the reviews, I will be checking out mine as soon as I get it. But Buy Stuff does have a little bit on their YouTube channel too. So yeah, I'll have a link for all of that. And again, they have it for Ridge Racer, they have it for Outrun. Now, the disclaimer here is any one of these mods you do, whether you do the retro shooter or you do the racing mods, they come with a little bit of a price. But if you've done the work to it, if you've already put in the mods, and when they come out with something that's an add-on like this, a PC, it's a lot cheaper, because it's like buying an ALP. You buy the ALP for, you know, between $1,200 and, dare I say, $1,900. If you get the kit, if you get the topper, all of that stuff, all you gotta pay for is the games at this point. You know, the 5, the 8, the 15, maybe 35 pinball packs. That's it. There's no more anything you gotta do to that pinball table. It's the same with any one of these mods you've done with Buy Stuff. I paid a lot to turn Terminator 2 into the retro shooter. But if they came out with something to top that, with a PC for that, it won't cost as much as I put in. So I've already spent the money, so I'm just throwing it out there. If you start adding on, okay, I want to put in a bigger monitor, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's, the price is going to add up. But if you've already done it and you just want to do the PC upgrade, they're going to give you $50 for sending in your old box, and you could put it towards something else. It's not going to be as expensive as it was when you first started. So still probably a maybe $300 mod, but I don't know what game's not going to be on this. And it's an alternative. It's a cheaper alternative than getting something like this and having a dedicated racer. As cool as this is, it's a cheaper way. It's taking this right here, this shell, ripping out the arcade one up and turning it into a multi-cade. The only thing it can't do is play online, but it can play local. You can hook up 4 cabinets. So if you were one of those that bought 4 Fast and Furious and you want to have 4 PC builds, you can all race against each other. Heck, if I had 4, even he'd come over and race. Some arcade one-ups are meant to be arcade one-ups. They're meant to be for what you bought it for. And I've said this in the past where, honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I wish I would have left my Fast and Furious to stock. Once I added those other games, there's nothing wrong that Buy Stuff did. It's just, it didn't get me to play it anymore. I put a lot of money into it, and I lost Fast and Furious. I lost the game that I played on there. Now I get it back. So after all of this, if you've done the mod, if you've done the gaming box, and you're like, you know what? Plus, you're gonna get better games. I mean, it's not just to get Fast and Furious. If you've ever played that Batman game, they had it at Dave & Buster's years ago, like probably like 2012, maybe 2008, in that time range, about the 4 years. That was a great game. There's Road Blasters, a game that I've longed to have. It's on there. Who knows what else? I mean, there's so many other games, and they're the arcade ROMs. They're not just gonna be the Dreamcast or the N64, so it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be like a computer is inside of your arcade one-up. But some cabinets are meant to be what you got it for, and that's the online play and that. So I just throwing that out there. I'm not trying to like say, hey, this is the way. It's, if you've done it, if you've went as far as I have, and you're not happy with it, this should make you happy. Daytona was the reason I did this whole mod. I just thought that having Daytona on there, this would just be incredible, and it is. It is. But I've always missed having Fast and Furious on there, so now I get it back. So just going back to what I was saying, that if I would have known all this ahead of time, I probably would have just left it the stock and just had Fast and Furious. People weren't happy with that, but the reason I like Fast and Furious, it's a pedal to the metal game. There's really, it's like Mario Kart. You're not gonna tap the brakes. You're just racing, and just crazy stuff is happening. It's one of those carts again, not past that. This is gonna be my new pet peeve. It didn't go far, but as long as it's just past that point. If you would have saw a Power Glove, if you didn't have one, and it was reasonable, like, just obviously used, it's going to be pre-owned. I mean, this is from 1990, 91. Would you get it just to have it? Like, imagine just doing a video. Like, what a look, just having the Power Glove on. Like, you have the cord hanging from it. It'd be just cool, just having the Power Glove. Remember watching The Wizard? The kid thought he was the coolest. Like, the Power Glove. I have the power. I had one. Like, this was like, you'd have to jump using the thumb or your index finger, and you had the controls on your forearm. But gosh, I wish I would have kept mine. After going through this, I realized that I am a total like 90s gamer. Like, I mean, I probably knew that before. I love the 80s. I absolutely love the 80s. Now I look at the 90s kind of like the way I used to look at the 80s. I love the games from the early 2000s, but 20 video games that were inescapable in the 1990s. I haven't heard of all of these, but going through some of these, look at, what's this, looks like an arcade one-up actually. It looks like the Yoga Flame Street Fighter 2 arcade one-up. I I love the 90s games. Super Mario World. I mean, Super Nintendo, the premier game. It was huge. I mean, think about that. I mean, Mario 3 was great. But, you know, when Super Nintendo came, Mario Kart, of course, this is why I bought the Super Nintendo Mini, just to have Mario Kart. And now look at where Mario Kart is now. Zelda, only thing I'm going to knock them for is right here. You see the 1986. So they did a pretty good job with the 90s, but yeah, kind of let one slide here. John Madden Football. I didn't realize this was John Madden when I first looked at it. Resident Evil. Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, you think about Sim City. These are games that we all knew. Like, look at all these that are just 90s based. Mortal Kombat. I mean, I could just, somewhere over here is going to be something Mortal Kombat. There's Shredder. I mean, just anywhere you go that's selling games, you're gonna, and I have to find something. I'm on a mission. You're gonna see something Mortal Kombat to this day. Just because I'm like standing in front of here, I never saw this until at GameStop. Like realizing that a controller for Xbox is $200, and Target's got it too. So yeah, I totally never saw that, and I'm being told that these are just fine. Donkey Kong Country. I mean, again, look at where Donkey Kong is now. And yeah, just playing this on the Super Nintendo. Crash Bandicoot. Putt Putt. I have no idea, no nostalgia for this. Never heard of it. Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. We've all, it was, you know, you were either a Sega guy or a Nintendo guy back then, and Sonic was just, it was next level. Kirby's Dream Land. Tomb Raider, a game that I could never figure out how to play. I do like the pinball though. Alone in the Dark. I haven't heard of this one either. Killer Instinct, oh yes. I mean, there's so many great, I mean, just, I don't know, maybe like the big kids titles were the 90s. I mean, it's just the fighting game galore. I mean, maybe that was the 90s, and then the racers. Street Fighter, again, just like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat might have a little bit of an edge as far as popularity, like stores. But then again, you know, we come across a lot of Street Fighter. There's not going to be a Street Fighter game here, just, you know, just a certain Marvel versus Capcom. NHL Hockey. Whenever I say hockey, I always think of big Tom Hanks. Hockey, you know, he's talking about the comic books, choose your own ending. Hockey. Turtles 4, which is Turtles in Time. One of the best beat 'em ups of all time. Great game for the Super Nintendo. Of course, the Sega Genesis was the Hyperstone Heist. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, I have my favorites. Okay, here's the Street Fighter. I forgot about the new Switch game, so I'm not knocking Street Fighter, but yeah, here's the Amiibo, and then yeah, they have Street Fighter 6 here. Just making things right. Yeah, they have Cyberpunk here, so yeah, this might run your Xbox. This might run your Switch too, a little too hot. Techno Super Bowl. Okay, yeah, so the Techno Bowl was NES, and then the Super Nintendo, right? Or did they have a Super? I only played the one version where you could, it wasn't like, it was like Green Bay. It wouldn't say the Packers, like you'd pick Green Bay. Of course, you had Bo Jackson, and finally Diablo, which I'm guessing was that a PlayStation? Didn't get into that one. Look, we can finally play Donkey Kong demo here. So some Targets have it, some don't, but they give you a 15-minute playtime. So if you stop at Target and want to check it out, 15 minutes of demo time. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. We're playing Donkey Kong. No, thank you. Yeah, that was awesome. I was gonna zoom it out. That was cool. And that's gonna do it for today. They have Tiger here. They have Chitara. Never thought I'd see Tiger again. I picked him up a few weeks ago. Gonna leave him in the package. I just wanted to finish off with basically the 90s games, because I guess after putting everything together, I kind of lean towards the 90s. I think all the beat 'em ups, you know, the fun for Mario Kart, like this all happened in the 90s. But of course, if it wasn't for the 80s, the 70s, you know, games that happened before, there would be no games from the 90s, right? I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll see you guys next time. See if there's anything new here. Yeah, we covered the markdowns. There's some huge sales coming up, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. But for right now, 50% off on the Batman Forever. This was 30 2 days ago. This was 50. So now, Two-Face, I couldn't find them anywhere. $4.49. They are. This tells me that the new Superman line, Superman the movie, Christopher Reeve, you have Gene Hackman, Margaret Kidner. Is it Kidner? Gosh, I'm getting old. I can't remember the names. That will be the next wave. So yeah, you have the Batmobile, which is $21.99, not 50% off, but the well, what's this? Yeah, well, these are 50 now. So now these are down to $15.49. Is it Kidner? Now that's gonna drive me nuts. So 50% off DC, Marvel, 30% off of Transformers. It's the start of the 4th of July sale. I won't drop them this time. They used to keep the cards up front. Now they moved them back here. I just remembered I needed to use my last AAA batteries. It's either Energizer or Duracell. I guess it's whatever ones I find first, but I kind of lean towards, it's all nostalgia, isn't it? The Energizer Bunny or the Duracell. I don't know. Actually, okay, there's all the cards are still up here. Just a little bit we're back by the action figures. And the funny thing is going back to the 90s, you get any cards now, better chance that these are going to be worse. They're going to be worth more than the cards that I collected. A lot of us collect in the 80s and the 90s. I don't understand. Maybe they don't make as many. Maybe there's not as many people buying these. I'm not sure. But I mean, they're not cheap. I mean, $7 for a pack of cards. I don't really pay attention to a lot of cards, which is because like GameStop is going more cards. Like they're collectors, and I think that's good. It gets people buying something. I need to kind of update him into a Lakers jersey, but yeah, I can't believe like a LeBron James card compared to like a Shaq rookie. It's worth more than the gift cards. I think the Power Glove holds its value. I'm on this Power Glove kick for two reasons. One, I didn't get a shot of it, and I'm disappointed because I expected to see it again, because the way that it was just kind of sitting there behind the counter, they were going to, they're deciding, about pricing it, and I figured, there's a ton of DVDs, like it's going to take these guys a little bit, but no, it was gone, and I probably would have got it. It's like I go back to that time range, like 1991, Bo Jackson. Like I picked up some Bo Jackson stuff this last year. I would get the Power Glove, even though I would never use it. Well, I mean, maybe I would eventually. I'd get it just because of that, like kind of getting stuff we had, from our childhood, just to have it. Like that is like a heavy nostalgia hitter.